Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. In today's video, our group will be presenting about current issues of microeconomics, private clinics in a bind over vaccine ceiling price. Now, let's meet our amazing team. Start from SOFIYA, Nurul Aisyah Khadeeja, NOOR ARISHA SOFIYA, FATIN ALYA MAISARAH, and the last one, NAJMA IRDINA. We are from CS112 Group 1F. So, let's get started. So, what is microeconomics? Microeconomics is the study of what is likely to happen when individuals make choices in response to changes in incentives, prices, resources, or methods of production. Individual actors are often grouped into microeconomic subgroups such as buyers, sellers, and business owners. These groups create the supply and demand for resources using money and interest rates as a pricing mechanism for coordination. In this video, we will be analyzing the demand and supply of COVID-19 vaccines in healthcare institutes such as hospitals and private clinics in the year 2020. There are many types of vaccines made by different corporations that the public can choose from the more popular options, including Moderna, Sinovac, AstraZeneca, and Pfizer. We chose this as our topic because as the threat of COVID-19 rises, more people are infected with the virus every day and prevention measures need to be taken. It became an interest of ours to see how the vaccine prices fluctuate as the demand and supply changes throughout this COVID-19 period and how the vaccine is affected economically as a whole. So, the question is, it is true that with the cases reaching its peak, the demand of the vaccine increases and the number of shots that needed to be taken increases as the virus takes on many variations, but does the supply of the vaccine match up? How does this sudden rise in demand affect hospitals and clinics alike, and how are they dealing with these sudden price changes? Did the government play their hand when it came to the pricing of the vaccine, and why? This is what we are trying to visualize in this video.
In summary, the article is talking about how the ceiling price of COVID-19 vaccines will have a negative effect on the supplies to private clinics and stop doctors from offering jabs. This is because, unlike pharmaceutical wholesalers who ordered in large scales, private clinics will order the supplies only when needed in consideration of the expiry dates. On January 13th, Putrajaya set a ceiling price for private sales of the Sinovac and Sinopharm vaccines. The wholesale price is 62 ringgit for Sinovac and 48 ringgit for Sinopharm. They are retailed at 77 ringgit and 61 ringgit respectively. The minimum order wholesalers traditionally set was 4,000 doses, and several wholesalers were selling 80 dose packages of extended expiry date vaccines on a healthcare marketplace at a price higher than the ceiling set by the government. If this goes on, many private clinics will either stop providing vaccinations or they might start adding on charges to compensate for the low price. Smaller private clinics will most probably no longer continue their inoculation service and thus slow down the vaccination rate. Hence, private clinics will most definitely feel the burden of this newly introduced ceiling price. This could have been more acceptable had the clinics been given prior notification to allow time for disposal of existing inventory to avoid losses.
I will now explain on the related topics in the syllabus. In the article, it says that a strong demand for COVID-19 vaccines during the pandemic era has resulted to the increase of price of vaccines. This is due to the increase of the number of COVID-19 patients during the pandemic era. Many people, including COVID-19 patients, want the cure quickly even though the vaccine stock is still limited. Obviously, having a strong demand but with a short supply caused the prices of COVID-19 vaccines to increase. Thus, a year of the pandemic era has really affected the price of COVID-19 vaccines and caused it to decrease. The graph above shows the recent demand and supply curve for COVID-19 vaccines. The graph of price as y-axis and quantity as x-axis is used because it is the most suitable graph that can show the change of price and quantity of the issue. We can see that line S0 represents the supply curve and line D0 represents the demand curve, while P0 and Q0 represents price equilibrium and quantity equilibrium, while the point of equilibrium can be seen as the origin of temp and labeled as E0.
The demand curve, which is shifting to the right, is represented in the graph above. This occurs because demand for COVID-19 vaccine is strong after a year of the pandemic. As demand increases, the demand curve shifts to the right as shown above. It is due to this that the government decided to set a ceiling price on the vaccine as demand increases to make it more accessible to the public. Though this has proven to have an adverse effect on supplies to private clinics since they obtain the vaccine in smaller quantities at reasonable prices instead of buying in bulk. As stated in the law of supply, there is a positive or direct relationship between the price and quantity of the vaccine being supplied. However, because there are still some people who refuse to get vaccination, no change in COVID-19 vaccine arose, and hence no shift happened in the supply curve graph. Price for COVID-19 vaccines such as Pfizer, BioNTech, AstraZeneca, and Spikevax increased strongly in the second half of 2021 due to increased quantity demand, but the supply curve remained the same and stable throughout the months. As a result, the demand curve will move to the right from D0 to D1, as illustrated in the graph above. Similarly, the equilibrium price of COVID-19 vaccine will increase to P0 to P1. In the end, the equilibrium level changed from E0 to E1. All the changes in the graph are due to the changes in Malaysians' COVID-19 patients during the pandemic, as seen in the diagram. As we all know, COVID-19 vaccines are needed for humans to reduce the possibilities of getting infected with COVID-19 because the vaccine can create strong antibodies for us to fight the virus. The quantity demanded of the vaccine and the price have an inverse relationship, which is stated in the law of demand.
To conclude the article, it is said that the price ceiling of vaccine is set by the government, which is 62 ringgit for Sinovac vaccine and 48 ringgit for Sinopharm vaccines towards all the buyers. This decision made by government is affecting the supplies towards private clinic because private institutions always buy the vaccines only according to patient registration, which always be in small quantity and not in bulk. The set price by the government will cause the private institution to face loss. We disagree with the price set by the government because the burden of ceiling price will fall to the one who buy the vaccine in bulk, which is the wholesalers. There is also wholesalers that trying to clear their all vaccine stock by selling the vaccine in higher price than what is implemented by government. This will cause a smaller private clinic to stop their vaccination service, and as a result, the vaccination rate of this country will slow down. Also, the government is not giving prior notice about the price of the vaccination, so it causes the clinics to not have time to dispose their remaining existing inventory.
We are really grateful because we managed to complete this video presentation within the time given by our lecturer, Sir Elfee. This assignment is impossible to be done without the amazing cooperation and effort from our group members, SOFIYA, Aisyah, ARISHA, FATIN and NAJMA. We also sincerely thank our lecturer of Microeconomics, Sir Elfee, for the guidance and willingness to help us in what we are lacking when completing this assignment, and surely for teaching us this course. Last but not least, we would like to express our gratitude to our family members who keep on encouraging us all this time. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.